Miggity, 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 Mike. You know the vibes. Welcome to another episode of the Overthinking Hours podcast. I am your co-host, Jay to the H. To my left is George. To my right is Jared. To his right is Rodney. And last but certainly not least, we got your boy Tashawn Merritt, aka TM9, aka DJ World Boss, aka Mr. Too Many Nicknames. We are the Overthinking Hours, and we have another good episode for y'all today, man. So, first and foremost, gentlemen, how was your weekends? First and foremost,
Weekends was good. Things started opening back up here in Rochester. Got to get out of the crib a little bit. Got no complaints.
valid.
Weekend was solid.
Anything exciting? Anybody got some sneaky links? What's up?
That's not very sneaky. You put it out here like that.
Wow.
As a fact, as one and two, Miss Rona still out here. She ain't playing no game, so
That's a fact.
I ain't in all that sneaky link shit because Miss Rona ain't gonna be sneaky when we in the hospital. So
That's true.
That's what I'm saying, bro. I'm the only person at Jug that wears a mask besides the bartenders.
why you at Jug?
Bro, you hear him, bro? That's literally an oxymoron. Like,
Why
how is he looking down on people not wearing a mask when he's at Jug?
you at a bar, bro? Why you at a bar?
Okay, that's open, but why don't they have masks on?
Yes. For the
That's the real
listeners,
questions.
for the listeners who do not know what the Jug is, it is Red Jug. It's a bar by our school. You feel me? It's the most popular bar since Stone Yard closed down, right?
Yeah, R.I.P.
Yeah, rip. So that is the bar that everyone goes to. I don't subscribe to the bar life, so that's not my forte.
At Brockport, ladies and gentlemen, that's the most popular bar in Brockport, Stone Yard.
Which is not really saying much, but anyway, obviously, another week, another round of new music. You know what I'm saying? So first and foremost, I really have one song I really want to talk about. You know what I'm saying? That's the GOAT. You feel me? You having a D Rosier right now. My son, little baby. Little baby having a D Rosier. So he dropped a bigger picture. You feel me? He dropped the song and the video for it. All the proceeds are going to a bail fund. I don't know what specifically it was, but I did read that all the proceeds from the song and the video are going to a bail fund. So how did y'all fellas think about the music, man? What's going on?
It was a good song. I mean, as someone that doesn't listen to Little Baby Crazy, I definitely appreciated it. I thought it was a good take, and it was just a well put together song. I haven't seen the video yet. I didn't know that, but I'll definitely watch it after this.
Mm-hmm.
Little Baby honestly is starting to separate himself from the rest of the pack. He's going into a different lane, man. That song was, I think it was well needed.
I loved it, honestly. I think it was better than Meek Mill's song.
Facts.
Meek Mill had The Other Side of America. I think Lil Baby's track was definitely better than Meek Mill's track.
Facts.
And it touched on more points of the system and the state that we're in than Meek Mill's track. Not to say Meek Mill's track wasn't good. Meek Mill's track was good. I just think Lil Baby outdid him on that.
Yeah, and I think one thing that I really am wary for Meek is that he was kind of thrust into social activism. You feel me? And his personality, I've watched Meek for a while, his personality, he really just wants people to understand his perspective, whereas he may not be so big on reforming other parts of the system that aren't related to criminal justice. Right? You feel me? That aren't related to his personal struggle.
Yeah.
You feel me? So his song coming out, you feel me? From my perspective of him just being an artist and me knowing what his intentions are, you feel me? I think it was great. But at the same time, he's on a thing where he just wants everybody to understand his view. You feel me? He's up on CNN and he's explaining his story. You feel me? And any logical person would agree with him. You feel me? But at the same time, I feel like we need to elevate, especially him. He has such a big voice. Hove is backing him now. You feel me? And not to take it, I don't know why we talk about Meek when we had the Little Baby conversation, but that was just something that I think is super important. I'm gonna keep watching Meek.
I mean, I brought up Meek because just like how Lil Baby dropped a song, and there are plenty of other artists that drop songs as well regarding the state that the country is in from a political and social standpoint. Meek dropped a song as well, so I brought up Meek in particular because Meek is also a very big artist.
Facts.
He's probably the most popular artist right now that dropped a song state about the current state of the country. So that's why I brought him up in comparison to his Lil Baby song, who's going viral right now, and who's also becoming a very big artist.
So what other songs that y'all have heard from artists talking about the state of the world right now that y'all been listening to and that y'all caught your attention?
The T Grizzly song.
Mm-hmm.
I like the Grizzly one a lot.
Yeah.
Trey Songz. I like Trey Songz song too. Like it wasn't bad. It did its purpose, but I don't think it was like I think Grizzlies was on a different level compared to the Trey Songz one, and I think the Baby one was above both of them.
I didn't know Trey Songz dropped a track.
Yes.
Yeah,
About this particular situation. I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. I've heard 2 songs recently. That you guys didn't name. There was one from Pharoah Monch and Styles P called "Same Shit, Different Toilet," and there was another one from Terrace Martin and Denzel Curry and a host of others called "Pig's Feet." And those tracks was actually very solid tracks as well.
Fire.
the other one I listened to was the one that Job told us to listen to, "The Front Lines" by Conway the Machine. That was a good one too.
Whew, Conway smoked that.
I think.
Conway smoked that. I ain't gonna hold you. But hold on. I feel like I need my hip hop card taken right now because we skipped the most important release of the week.
No, we didn't. We're getting there.
Sue Surf dropped.
I was about to say like, what this man talking about?
Sue Surf dropped the album on Wednesday, not Friday. On Wednesday. You feel me? Untraditional. You feel me? If you don't know who Sue Surf is, he's a battle rapper. You feel me? From Jersey. You feel me? And Sue Surf. If you never heard of Sue Surf rap before, go on YouTube, look up Sue Surf Balls on I-95, and I promise you, it'll change your life. I promise you. You feel me?
I ain't gonna hold you. We doing a lot of free promotion this episode.
that's you feel me?
We did a lot of free promotion this episode. Well, at least the first one was a business that we all frequented, so I respect that. Sue Surf, you owe us a little bit for this one, even though our viewership.
That's off the cuff. That's off the cuff.
I mean,
First one
like,
off the cuff.
I understand.
Respect the Sue Surf.
I understand you were excited about his album, but like, I thought you were talking about the biggest release being the Pop Smoke single. I skipped over. Like,
yeah.
I was confused there. My bad.
First and foremost, R.I.P. Pop Smoke, free Roddy Rebel till it's backwards. You know the vibes. Yeah, Pop Smoke dropped the album, not the album, but album got pushed back. Yo, Jared, why the album got pushed back?
They said because of the current climate and the whole Black Lives Matter.
Okay, calm. I can take that.
Don't understand how that's kind of relevant since they still released a track, but I mean, that's
my personal view is I feel like the album not done yet. Personally,
I agree with that.
And I mean, because if it was the state, they wouldn't have put out another date. Yo, Jared, what's the date for it now? It's like July 14th, something like that.
No, July 3rd.
July 3rd. Okay, a couple weeks away. For me,
see, they smart for that. They released it right before 4th of July.
New York's about to be lit.
They about to make it rain fireworks.
No, we boycotting 4th of July this year. It's Juneteenth. We going up on Juneteenth. You know the vibes.
We going up on. You forgot people taking the day off on July regardless.
Day off for what? Everybody home.
We not celebrate. That's what I'm saying. We don't celebrate July 4th, but we go enjoy the day off and barbecue and grill.
Yeah, I guess that's not boycotting July 4th, but okay. I mean,
how?
Because if we need to start making it just a regular day, bro. Like if July, like it needs to be just a regular summer day. You feel me?
Josh saying go to work if you got work that day.
Bro, Juneteenth. Take
I'm
Juneteenth
like,
off.
what?
Take Juneteenth off. You feel me?
Yeah.
Nike. Shout out to Nike. Nike made Juneteenth a paid holiday for their workers.
Ooh, that's my favorite sports brand, ladies and gentlemen.
Why
Nike
don't
always
you?
doing it.
Why don't you guys explain what Juneteenth is for the listeners? Because I just recently learned about it the other day when we were talking about it in the group chat.
You want to, T, or should I?
Nah, John, you could go ahead and take that.
Okay, so Juneteenth, all right, is the day or the day allegedly where the last slave, I believe in Texas, the last slaves got notice of the Emancipation Proclamation. So if you don't know, in 1863, Abraham Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation, pretty much ending the Civil War in America, and all the slaves that had slave owners that knew of the Emancipation Proclamation were freed. However, it took 2 years until the slaves all the way out in the western frontier to gain their freedom. So on June 19th, 1865 is when the last of the slaves were freed. All right, so that's why we as Black people in America celebrate Juneteenth.
Give them the dates. That's what we're talking about.
Feel me?
That's why I let you take it, because I didn't have the exact date of when the last person was freed. You know what I'm saying? I know the days, but not the exact date.
T didn't know what day the holiday was.
No, I said the exact date. Bro. I'm talking about the year, not June 19th, clown. I'm about to take your clear card. That's what I'm about to do.
Chill. Yeah, man. But with all that said, right, go out and vote. If you haven't registered to vote, I think the deadline in New York is 2 days from. Oh, the deadline will be today if you're listening to this, June 16th. So go out and vote. Don't be scared.
And make sure y'all do y'all research on the people you're voting for, because there are a lot of people who are just for show and they're not for progress. Like I'm a big political analyst myself. I support progressives because their legislation is showing progress, not just more the status quo. Because obviously the status quo is not good enough.
Mm-hmm.
I think equally as important as if you're going out to vote is do not leave boxes blank. Vote. Even if you don't care about the candidates, put a vote down.
That is true.
For sure. So with that,
you have to Google a name real quick.
or like, you feel me? It's the absentee ballot. You got all the time in the world to fill it out. You might as well do your research while you're there. Feel me?
Exactly.
But pivoting from that, let's talk about a hot button topic that's been going around the interwebs for the past few days.
Hold on, I ain't gonna hold you. Yo, Jared, you've been quiet for a minute, bro. What's up?
It's a 3-man pot today.
He waiting on his time to pounce. You feel me? He's biding his time. I feel that.
I'm just telling yo, come on.
I'm just saying, I just thought you would have had a point to make about a little bit about the politics that we were just talking about, but
y'all spoke about it. There's nothing for me to really add. What you want me to just keep saying? I agree.
Nah, I didn't know. That's what I said. You was quiet for a minute. You could say you agree, and then it's that right there. But anyways, we move on.
He's been quiet for 14 minutes, if we're being exact.
We move on.
So with that, the NBA is going through some, I wouldn't say turmoil, but we're getting some things from different players.
There's an NBA civil war, y'all.
Pretty much. I mean, we're getting a lot of different perspectives. So let's just inform the listeners, right? So first, I think the first domino to fall, and correct me if I'm wrong, was Kyrie, right? I think that was the first couple of comments to come out against the bubble cities, right?
Yeah, pretty much. It's pretty much Kyrie is like the forefront of it.
Yeah. So
technically, if you go back a couple weeks, it was Dame saying he doesn't want to play for no reason.
Cop out.
and then right around the time Kyrie spoke is when Melo was like, "Why are we playing?" But because Melo was right there too, because we had that conversation about saying Melo is going to be off a roster now. But It's a different topic. Talk about a different
The
day.
fact is, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of these Blazers players don't want to play because they don't want to be embarrassed for not making the playoffs. They got so much talent that ain't performing, and they need a cop out, so they don't want to play. They don't want to play if they know they're not gonna make it to the playoffs.
So what Kyrie was saying is that I think what Kyrie's stance is that there's a social justice issue that we're going through right now, and basketball would be a distraction from that. Um, I've heard a lot of different perspectives on this. I've spoken to a lot of people about it. You know what I'm saying? We heard from Austin Rivers, where it's about the business. You know what I'm saying? A lot of players need that.
Damn, you spoke to Austin Rivers?
Yeah. Me and Austin Rivers, we speak Austin. That's
Oh, all right, shit.
the
I didn't
bro.
know that.
Yeah. You ain't know that?
Nah,
Come on, bro.
that's a tough connect you got there.
That's the bro. I mean, we talk from time to time. You feel me?
Heard you.
You know what I mean? But yeah, I didn't talk to Austin Rivers. I mean, Austin Rivers talked to someone who may have talked to me. You feel me? I just know a guy who knows a guy. You know what I mean?
All right, yeah.
Namely Instagram. You feel me? That came out with the comments. You feel me? But like his point was, it's about the business. You feel me? Like it's like we feel you, but like people need their check. You feel me? I think that's what Jared's main point was. Like Kyrie is a millionaire. You feel me? Like
My stance is that Kyrie Irving's a bug out right now.
Oh, why
I
is
mean,
that? Why is that?
I mean, I get it. I get where Kyrie is coming from, and I get we're going through a social reform. But at the end of the day, business got to be handled.
Mhm.
And I believe I'm sided with like LeBron James, or LeBron James' stance is that we can do both. We can play basketball and try to find a way to have basketball being used as social reform rather than just boycotting it. Because at the end of the day, some NBA players need the check. And Austin Rivers came up and said, well, we could fund it if we get paid, but if we don't play, we can't fund nothing. So my stance is just that try to like more like LeBron James, and where it's both sides. Try to find the justice for both sides. Try to find a balance of playing and doing something for a cause. Like I would say, like have a patch on their jerseys. They can have warm up shirts. There's other. I'm pretty sure there's other creative ways where they can play basketball and still have the focus on the social reform.
yeah, and I think my thing is really, I'm let me just say I'm for Kyrie. I feel as though if we got something to do, let's not divert our energy from the problem at hand. But like from that standpoint, like what are they gonna do if not bring awareness by playing basketball? You feel me? Like what is it that they're doing in terms of like, you know what I'm saying? Like are they just out protesting where they could protest nationally? You know what I'm saying? On national TV, you feel me?
That's
Yeah, that's what I was gonna get at, because you can use basketball as a platform.
yeah.
Like that's the whole reason Kyrie has his platform to begin with, because he's a great basketball player, and then he has a large following. Another thing is when Eric Garner died, they had the "I Can't Breathe" T-shirts on before the game and during warm-ups, and that brought national attention to what happened.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like um doing both can easily occur, even though basketball, the actual game itself may be distractions. You still have a way to nationalize and get out your message on a very large platform. Also, I want to say, like, they didn't stop because of they stopped because of Corona, and now they coming back, but Corona ain't an issue no more. Like I'm confused here,
Yeah,
because
that's also a thing, bro. Because
yeah,
especially where the bubble city is proposed to be, like their cases are going up.
yeah, I'm thinking like it should have been a two front um a two-front issue on Kyrie. Like, not only do we have this big social issue going on, but you also have a health issue in which you risking players' lives, and we still don't even know the long-term effect
I just
of what happened of this virus.
I just want to know how is that like the more on the health issue, if you're in a bubble and you're controlling who goes in and out, how is that like more of a health issue? I'm just asking.
Because you have to screen you have to not only have to screen everyone, but you have to also screen their family members as well.
But then that's the issue that they saying that the family members might not be able to go to the bubble.
Mm-hmm.
No, but I'm not saying family members of the players. I'm talking about family members of the people that are organizing and working in these facilities where these players are.
And I'm pretty sure that the NBA is going to have a guideline with that, and I'm pretty sure they're going to have to subscribe to that too, or they take daily testing.
Hospitals had guidelines with that too, and healthcare workers were still getting sick.
Yeah, but you're talking
There's
about health.
nothing is guaranteed.
Nothing is guaranteed, but you can that you can't compare a hospital to what they're doing, because at the end of the day, a hospital you're dealing with thousands of patients. Right here, you're only dealing with what
Several
300.
hundred.
Not how you dealing with several hundred.
You have hundreds of basketball players, hundreds of staff members, and hundreds of workers for in the facilities where where they're going to be playing the games.
Not really. They're limiting that. That's what I'm saying. They're limiting that. They're limiting that.
Limiting what? How many staff members they're going to have at each facility?
Yes.
It's still gonna it's still gonna be hundreds.
It's not gonna be hundreds.
How not?
How
Each hotel unless let's say they have multiple teams in one hotel, you have to have the staff adequate enough to clean and sanitize the entire hotel.
Yes.
That's and then so that's multiple hotels you have to deal with. That's hundreds of staff members right there. You also have to have with the people who are providing food for these players. You have to screen all the people that are providing food for the players, the transportation as well.
Listening though, it's not multiple. It's like one or two hotels. But then that's what I'm saying. The NBA are, that people's going to be in that bubble. Like they can't leave that bubble neither.
I think that's what the main conflict now is with the players, is that they have to go down. And I think that's the same gripe that the baseball players had when the MLB first proposed their bubble plan, is that they're gonna have to go down there without their families, and if they want their families to come, it's like you have to spend 2 weeks. You feel me? If you go outside the bubble, now you can't play for 2 weeks because you have to self quarantine. You know what I'm saying? I think the rules. I think they think that the rules are a little too strict. You feel me? Because I don't, as a basketball player, if I'm not in the gym and if I'm not hooping, I pretty much have free time to just sit in a hotel. You feel me? Like there's only so much you could do when it comes to preparing for the game. You feel me? And I think that's what the gripe is.
That's all they can do. Everything's closed. They're not allowed to leave the bubble. They can't go club. They can't go shopping. They can't go to Disney. They can't do anything.
Bro, go on Twitter and go and look at some people in Florida and tell me if shit is closed, bro.
No, no, I'm not. Nothing.
Like, come on, bro.
No, everything is open, but the players can't do all that.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like Jared is specifying that even the staff members of the restaurants that the players are gonna be eating from, the hotels and all that, they can't leave that area. And I'm like, all right, so if that's a whole other thing that they wasn't talking about. Like if the staff members from the restaurants and the the transportation services and all that can't leave either, that's a whole different scenario. But from what the information that we got right now is that the players and the team staff are the ones that can't leave the bubble city, quote unquote, and that's the only information we have on that right now.
Or
Just real quick, I didn't get to talk about it. I think the players going down, like I think you can still make a statement and play the games. I really liked what Garrett Temple said. It was the other day after they had the big meeting. Garrett Temple is one of the higher ups in the organization among the players on the NBPA or whatever it's called.
yeah,
And he was saying that he wants them all to go down and they can formulate a plan together. Whereas if they don't go down, they don't get together, they don't play games. It's just they're all trying to individually work. When if they all get together, they can try to formulate a plan together to make a bigger statement. And also, like you were saying, like you can still make a statement while playing basketball. By the time the NBA comes back, realistically, they're going to be the only sport taking up the sport times. Hockey might be back by then because I know hockey's on a similar trajectory as the NBA. However, like the NBA, I feel like is a bigger sport, and they'll be able to they'll have so many eyes on them where they can make the statements they want.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to add that.
That's true. I mean, it really depends because baseball MLB is coming. It's supposed to be set to come back in July as well, and I believe they have a July 3rd date. I'm not 100% sure,
They're
but
not making that.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like they have a date set for July. MLS has a date set in July as well.
No,
So
MLS is going to be on the same property as the NBA. They're in the world of sports too.
MLS is doing the bubble CD.
Yeah, but they're going to be in Orlando. They're going to be in Disney.
Oh, they're gonna okay.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either. I heard they was talking about doing Bubble City, but I didn't know that it was gonna be in Disney. But see, that's another thing. Now you just added more fuel to my fire because that's a whole nother hundreds of people that have to deal in that entire situation as well.
If you ever been to Disney and you ever been to Disney property is so big it's not
massive.
going to interfere with each other.
It's massive. Yes.
Yes. So, but that's what I'm saying. It doesn't go to yours because the MLS is on a whole different wave than what the NBA would be on.
I mean, I don't know because that's another set hundreds of players that they got to deal with and staff members they got to deal with as well. I'm not sure if Disney has that much hotel and food space and all of that to deal with that as well.
Yes, they do. Yes. As somebody that go to Orlando every single year, yes.
Okay, quick flex, possible, beloved.
That's a tough flex. I'm just saying because it's gonna be far more players than what the NBA is bringing.
But I don't think that matters. What your point, T, is that their liability factors, the things that they have in place to make sure that they're staying safe, quote unquote. You feel me? I think is irrelevant. You feel me? Because at the end of the day, they're gonna do what they're gonna do, and
that's true.
You feel me? So I don't know, man. I as a fan, I would like to get back to basketball as a fan. You feel me? But I would hate for players to feel like they're being stifled socially for a check. You feel me? I don't think that's. I feel like there can be a middle ground. You feel me? And shit. You heard what Pat Bev said.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I'm just saying, like, because we're all athletes, so we all understand, like, you know, we hold our safety to as our most important because we want to be able to play and show out when the time comes. So the players are being risked, their lives are being risked, and potentially their careers, like I said, because we don't know the long-term effects of the virus, the pandemic that's going around. So you know their careers are potentially being risked to bring back basketball for the shortened amount, even though you know we can just the pandemic's still going on. So that's just my thing about it. Because like you don't want to see anybody. You don't want to see they go down there and then there's a breakout and then multiple players get it and then boom, one of them dies from it because that'd be that. Like, what are you gonna tell them? Like, oh, that was their job. No, like they could have avoided it.
Yeah, Corona ain't no joke, son.
No, that's not.
So we definitely need to be as vigilant as possible.
It's definitely an interesting dynamic how, like, the players have like one thing they're worrying about, and the league's worried about the other thing. And obviously, like both sides are worried about like what the opposite side is worried about. But it's just funny how like it's not being portrayed this way in the media, and you haven't heard like the league like you haven't heard the media cover like what the league thinks about like all of this going on with the players.
Mhm.
You
Yeah,
haven't heard like many of the players complain much about the COVID situation since this whole bubble city started coming back. It was more like the only complaints were why do we have to go and play useless games? It wasn't like reassuring like hey, are we actually safe or not?
Yeah, that's
that's
good.
true. That's true.
So another topic on this, another sport that's going down is baseball. So I'm not too well versed on baseball. I think Jared was schooling me on what's going down. You put Andrew McCutcheon's video in the group chat earlier. I watched that was pretty funny. But so could you expound a little bit for me, please?
So Andrew McCutton and the MLB. So what happened was when the Corona start came in, when the Corona start came in about, MLB said that they was going to give the players 100% prorated salary.
And
And
what does prorated mean?
prorated means that means they get like, so they get per game, like they don't get no money taken out their checks.
Okay.
They was getting whatever salary was guaranteed. That's what they was getting.
Yeah. So and then now months later, the MLB is trying to come up with a plan, and they're trying to not give them the 100% prorated salary. They're trying to give them like 75, 70, 80% prorated salary.
Oh,
Mm.
not even,
It's
bro.
not even that much.
It's
It's
not
less.
even. They try to jump that shit to like 30, 40.
Yeah.
Oh, that's tough.
Yeah.
So the reason why I brought it up, saying we could talk about it, and like the jokes I was cracking earlier, saying they don't want to play, is so today or yesterday the MLB sent like their latest proposal to the players union, saying
hmm
we'll play this many games, you'll make this much money, and the players didn't even give back a counter offer. They literally
Yeah.
just rejected
They
this.
told that shit.
The league.
Hell nah.
They just rejected the league's offer. So that's why, like you were saying, like July 3rd. That's why I said they're not going to make that date. They'll be
hmm
lucky to make even like
Well, then,
beginning of August.
if you like paid attention to it a little bit, it's been back and forth. Like this is not like the first offer that was
No, I
made.
know. I believe this was the second or third proposal.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the players came back with an offer, which was
Yeah.
100% prorated salary, and the owner said no. So it's a back
Yeah.
and forth battle between them.
Yeah.
Or-
Let's clear it up a bit because it's not MLB as in like the league itself. It's mainly the owners. The owners are trying to cut the players' salaries. Talking about they want to be able to pay the staff that hasn't been able to get paid or whatever. And I'm just saying like first of all, the owners are having record revenue for like the last 8-9 years, and now they're talking about they can't pay. They need the players who are also employees. They need to cut their salaries to help pay other employees. That doesn't make much sense to me. Like, I think a lot of people need to understand, like, these are billionaires telling millionaires to take less money so they can keep more of their billions.
It's tough. Obviously, you signed for like that number. You want that number. The league came out and said you're gonna make that number.
Mm-hmm.
But like realistically, it's like you don't have fans. Your TV revenue is getting messed up currently. Like I just don't know how they can realistically expect their like. Yeah, Jared has the greatest point. Like when he said this to me over text, the owner shouldn't have said anything. The MLB shouldn't have said anything. But it's like the further you go along in this, how can you expect to make the 35? Like some of them may be making 35, almost 40 million. Like how can you expect to make that much when you're
Whose
just not you're
whose
not
fault?
making the number?
Whose
It's the
fault
league.
is that?
It's the league. It's the owners. It's all of them.
Whose fault?
However, I just think like when it comes down to logistics, like it's either gonna be you take the pay cut and they're playing, or there's gonna be no season. And
Who's what? Then yo, you think the players? Who you think the fans come to watch? They're not coming to watch the owners. They're coming to watch the players. How you gonna agree to something? First of all, they agreed to contracts. That's one thing. Then they agreed to something at the start of the whole situation, and now they're trying to renegotiate it to the point where the players are making less than half of what they were supposed to get for the year, so that
like
billionaires can keep more of their money. Like,
well, yeah, I
no,
mean, that's
y'all should have been more financially responsible with the billions y'all made and the record revenue y'all made.
I mean, that's
Like that
definitely
shouldn't be on the owner shouldn't be on the players.
no. I agree with you 100%. That shouldn't be on like the players. Like the billionaire shouldn't have said anything. But also, when that statement came out, that was before the season. Like that was like right as the season was canceled. And when the season canceled in April, they thought it was a couple week thing. Like they didn't realize they were going to be in the same boat as every other sport. ESPN was prepping to air those opening games. They were being advertised. Like these guys started their spring trainings. Like you know what I mean? Like that's the only reason. But yes, like the owner shouldn't have said anything. But at the same time, like you got to be like the players got to be realistic. Like it's either you want to play and you're gonna like, or you're not gonna play. There's not that much money coming in this season, and I don't think the MLB can afford to take off a full season.
The owners made record revenue year after year for the last like
That's
8 years,
tough though.
George.
That's a full sports season though. How are you gonna take off a full sports season without feeling an impact? The NBA is gonna feel an
They're
impact.
not, but the players want to play. The players just want to make the money that they agreed to when the situation happened. Like, I don't know how that's. I don't know.
I don't think
I
it's
don't know how
impossible.
that's.
You
I
can't
don't know
make
how
100%
people try to
salary.
make enemies out of the players
I'm not
when
making
the owners made record revenue, billions upon billions of dollars, and the players just want to get the money that they legally agreed to.
Hey, I'm just saying it's tough to make 100% of your revenue when you're playing 60 games and you're supposed to play like however many. They play a stupid amount. I don't know the exact number.
That's not the player's fault.
Like that. To me, Joe, the only thing I had a problem issue with the owners, they should have just never said something in March.
Oh, I agree with you.
Knowing
Yeah.
that you not know, and then you're gonna say 100%, you can't get mad at somebody now saying that they still with the 100% after 2 months. If you would have never said nothing,
Yeah.
then I think the players could have been more willing to. But being at the fact that you
You knew the shit was going on and you still agreed to it.
Yeah, that's 100% on the owners. You're right. Like I said, I think it's just hard if you're gonna play. Okay, so there's 162 games in a season they're supposed to play, right? 162 games. If you're only gonna play, say, 75 of those games, it's just like I don't know how you can expect your full salary. That's the only way. Like I think of it from a real world perspective, though. If you're supposed to work 162 days and you only go to 75 days worth of work.
I have a question though.
Yeah.
If I get injured, do I still make that same money for the year?
Yes, but the games are still being played. There's still a revenue coming in, a normal revenue.
Well, guess what? The whole league is injured because of Corona.
That's tough. Pay up, owners. I don't know what to tell you.
So they can pay. They should still pay.
But George, you gotta understand, they not even. They wanted a prorated salary. So what a prorated salary is, what you get in that per game. So of course, if they're not playing, they're not going to make the same amount of money that they're making a 162 game. But they still prorated. That means I want the game what each game is based upon.
Check.
And
Exactly.
the owners is 80% of the per game basis that you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't.
So they already cut your salary in half and then want to take another percentage from it.
That makes sense. Then. I don't know. It's tough. It's a tough spot.
That's not a tough spot. I feel as though if the prorated part is a very important detail because like
that is true.
That like what's the point of me coming and playing the games in a bubble city where I'm not risking only my health but my sanity because I'm coming there and I'm playing 75 games without my family, right? Without any attractions.
I don't know what the MLB is doing about bubbles and all that. I don't.
Well, this is the plan that not the second proposal, but the first one I think where they were supposed to go to Arizona.
Yeah, Arizona was the original.
I remember that. Yes.
You feel me? Like they were going there, you know what I'm saying? Not only exposed to, so now it's worse because now I'm going to a state where the corona cases are not only spiking, but it's a hotbed for coronavirus. You feel me? Like there's another. Are they going to Orlando or was that MLS?
The MLS
MLS is going to Orlando.
Okay, so let's say they're still going to Arizona, whatever. Boom, right? They're risking their health. They're risking, you know what I'm saying? Like they got to go get this money, but at the same time, like if I make 10 million. If I'm rated to make 10 million this year, and now I only have the potential to make 5 million in total, but now every game check, let's say, is $5,000, and I'm only making 40% of that $5,000. Like, come on, that's like 2K. That's 2K, bro. Where I'm supposed to be making 5K. That's crazy. That's crazy, bro. And then on top of that, the owners, if everything goes right. Let's say they don't get the ad revenue, they don't get the sales revenues they would get from people coming into the stadiums, buying popcorn, buying concessions, you know what I'm saying? But they still get all of that from the league. You feel me? Like, if the owners are taking as big of a hit as the players, I'm for it. But if the players are the only people taking the hit, then I feel like that's hypocritical and it shouldn't be happening.
I think,
Feel me?
yeah, it's
No,
a lot
no.
it's a lot to unpack. This is a very unique situation that a lot of these sports leagues and the players and owners are in. So everybody's going with the flow, trying to make the best of it. So it's still a lot to unpack.
Yeah, man. But I think that's the week in review in terms of music and sports. Was there anything else that y'all generally wanted to touch on, or is it time to pack it up?
I just wanted to say.
Oh, go ahead,
You
Joe.
go first. No, you go first, Jared. Mine's just a joke about Goodell.
Oh, I just wanted to say, no matter what, basketball is coming back July 4th. The tournament is coming back. TBT. If y'all don't know what TBT is,
Basketball tournament. The basketball tournament. That's a whole bunch of semi-pro players playing that. That shit fire.
yeah,
Wait, which one is that? I mean, where's that at?
it's like national. It's been national like for the last 3 years, like with ESPN in the summertime.
Mm-hmm. They play
Oh,
like
okay. Okay.
Yeah, so the TBT is basically it's a basketball tournament that features like overseas players and
I think I know someone.
yeah, it features like overseas players and just elite players and and not you can't play in the NBA like currently. So I think you gotta have like at least 1 or 2 years removed out of the NBA to be qualified. And so they came up with a plan and they said that they're going to be playing in July 4th as a quarantine basketball tournament, and ESPN is going to pick up their contract.
Okay.
So
ESPN is looking for every and any kind of sliver of a sport right now.
yeah,
They gotta make their money, son. They sports channel with no sports.
on ESPN, but they have already had their contracts though. ESPN just picked up their contract for another like 3 years though. For like the last 2-3 years, they have been partnered with ESPN though. They just haven't been on ESPN like national TV. They do like the underground like
ESPN2.
ESPN3s.
Hey, as long as this tournament's better than that horse special they did, I'm all for it. I'm all for it.
Is that a horse special?
Yeah, the horse special that ESPN did, that shit was awful.
Yeah, that was awful.
The quality was awful. The players are doing awful.
Oh, the game of horse. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I'm here thinking like I don't think horse racing was back at the time.
Nigga thought actual horses.
I'm a fan of horse racing. Like, if y'all don't know, my family is from the Caribbean in the Virgin Islands. Horse racing is a big thing. I love horse racing. So
the only horse I subscribe to is Megan Thee Stallion. What are you talking about? It's the only horse I pay attention to. George, you was about to tell somebody.
Yeah.
Like, what happened? Like,
Nah, bro, I was just saying the last thing we had to touch on was Goodell finally stood up for, the right side and wasn't quiet this time trying to blackball players because he saw he was going to lose all his star players.
I ain't gonna hold you. That's the mob boss right there. Roger Goodell is no joke, bro. But I don't agree. I'm not sure if I can take Goodell's his little video to heart because like you said, he was quiet when it was first going down, and then they made rules to change to make it harder for the players to even protest in the way that they did. So I mean, could Goodell's his little video with apology, could it be performative just to keep a certain certain demographic of the fan base watching the NFL, that could be part of the equation as well. Because if I'm not mistaken, the NFL's ratings did drop when that whole scenario happened with Colin Kaepernick protesting the national anthem due to the social injustices in America.
It's more than I think it's more than just the players. He's got to keep his players happy too. It's more than just the fans. It's his players also. He has to keep
Well,
his
and you
players
gotta
happy.
but you gotta think the last couple of moves that Roger Goodell did, he's partnered with guys like Jay-Z and stuff. So he has to kind of like speak out more about issues like this now. I mean, at the fact he's doing business with black men.
That is true. That is true.
So, and that's why you see the NFL is doing more. Like the NFL set up a workout for Colin Kaepernick. Either I don't know whatever situation that is. At the end of the day, the NFL set up a workout. So the NFL is doing more businesses with black people.
I
So
mean,
like
they should, because the league has tons of black players.
yeah. And so that's why I feel like this time around you're gonna see somebody like Roger Goodell speak up.
I mean, as the commissioner of the league, he should be speaking up. But my thing is it coming from the heart?
I don't think so.
No, not at all.
Personally.
That's my thing. Is it coming from the heart, or is it just performative? Because a lot of these companies that are doing these, they're saying they're standing up with black people and other minorities not minorities, people of color, for the social injustices in America. A lot of people of color have been exposing them online for their business practices not matching what they're saying. So that's why I just posed the question.
But I was talking to somebody, but at least fake support is better than being silent.
Is it though?
It is though.
That's a tough one to digest.
Let me hear your perspective on that, bro.
It is though, because fake support, even if honestly you don't do it from the malintent, but it's still out there. It's still out there. Rather than if somebody's being silent, you don't know. So them being silent, as they say, if you being silent, that means you on the other side because you're not speaking up. So even if it's fake or not, you could say it's out there saying like, look, we support the black people. So then now that might push somebody else to do it, rather than somebody silent. Then you don't know the perspective, and now you just having somebody else attention grows.
But them only apologizing or standing with the black community for that reason, like standing just to stand, is manipulation, because the companies can stand with them, but then go ahead and donate money to the Trump administration, which has historically put black people in situations, or their policies have put black people in situations where we're not being treated fairly. You feel me? So how can I go? I'm not gonna say. Let me say company. How can I go and spend my money at company A when I know that they only do shit like for the fuck of it? You feel me? Like they don't even really mean it.
Like that's like some A1 gaslighting.
Word, like you feel me?
Because I don't. Let's bring up like presidential nominee Joe Biden, for instance. He said he supports the movement, the protests, and all of that, but then he also doesn't believe in defunding the police, and he actually wants to give the police more money. So, like, you kind of contradicting yourself there, mate. You know what I mean?
Bro, that sounds crazy.
Okay, so overall, I don't think the fake support's needed. I think it needs to be genuine. I think if there was a case where you want someone to fake support, it would be someone that's a commissioner of a sports league.
That's what I'm saying.
But I definitely don't think, I wouldn't look at every case as, fake support, at least it gets something out there. No, I'd rather fake supporters not support anything. It's just keep go away, keep quiet.
But I mean, what I mean by the fake support, I mean like the people, the higher ups. So imagine the NFL didn't say something. How would the players feel?
They probably feel like how they felt in 2016.
But you can't have that though.
But actions speak louder than words.
that's
So
big
I'm
facts.
gonna just say like
And the NFL, and the
let's
NFL,
see
gave,
let's see what
the
they
NFL,
do
the NFL gave out $250 million.
to who.
They're donating it. They don't know which one yet, but they're donating $250 million.
So they just talking then. Actions speak louder than words. You got to if when we see it, then we'll know. Because they could donate $250 million, but then they donate it to the police outreach program.
Oh no. I'm sorry. They donated $250 million towards black social reform. That's what I mean.
Did they specify who? Or they just
Yeah.
say towards black social reform?
I hope people don't come in for the facts because we definitely don't have them.
No,
Alright, we
I
need to
got
end on that
facts.
note.
That's
No,
why
no,
I'm
no.
bringing this shit up.
We need
I
to
got
end-
facts.
All right,
I
man.
didn't hear the NFL specify anything about who they
Yeah.
were gonna give the money to. They just said they was giving money.
No, over the next 10 years, it's going to be
Mm.
they're spending $250 million. I'm on the website right now
Yeah. To who?
to combat systematic racism and fight injustice against the blacks.
Are you sure it doesn't say systemic?
Yes,
To who?
Damn.
Who they giving money to?
systemic racism and fight injustice against blacks.
That's the name of the organization?
Bro, you.
I just said to who? I just said to
They
who?
don't know yet though.
That's my point. They just talking right now.
But how?
we can argue this off camera, y'all.
You mean how? If I say I'm gonna donate to breast cancer corporations, somebody ask me which one, I'm gonna be like, I don't know yet. But I'm gonna donate.
I don't know who listens to the pod. To get
That's what happened.
You know, imagine you collect all this money and you're like, I'll decide later who I'm gonna donate it to. Send me some money.
You know what I'm saying? Like we don't know yet. So
So if each of
that's
you
what-
donate $1 to me, I'm gonna donate it to a fund. But we can talk about it later off camera about where I donate it.
So everybody that's listening, I'm gonna put my Cash App in the the link for the pods. Donate $1 to me, and I'm gonna send it to the Tishon Merit Fund.
He didn't even say the name of his own fund.
That's the fun. That's the fun. I'm gonna donate that shit to.
Yeah.
Oh man.
All right, man. So that concludes another wonderful episode of the Overthinking Hours podcast.
Damn, that's it.
Yeah, man. I mean, ain't shit else to talk about.
Hold on. Did y'all see the kente cloth situation?
Oh, my goodness.
They took a knee. Yo, they took a knee wearing kente cloth, bro. Like that shit was supposed to mean something to us. Man, we want to see legislation. We don't want to see y'all kneeling in kente cloth.
That's what I'm saying, bro. That's crazy.
Yo, we got. Oh, also on September 11th, we got a write on like city streets. All buildings matter. You know what I'm saying?
Joe.
Because apparently writing Black Lives Matter on some public streets are gonna change systemic racism in America. So to end terrorism, we're gonna write all buildings matter in the middle of the street during September 11th.
That's
That's
crazy.
what
That's crazy, son. But
Till next week.
till next week, man. I mean, shit.
as y'all can see, I am a very radical political person.
Man.
But like I said, man, we're gonna come to y'all. I mean, we missed Rodney for the whole episode, but I mean, I guess you'll have to wait till next week.
Yes, I'm playing with my bro like that, bro.
Rodney's on vacation. So
Yes. Our co-host Rodney Roberts has taken the week off for personal reasons.
Load management.
load
So,
of management.
He's on his Dennis Rodman vibes right now, you know.
He wishes he was in Vegas right now.
All right. George, any last words?
Nah, thank y'all for tuning in. Like, share, subscribe, tell your friends to tell a friend. I don't know. Thank
Jared, last words.
None, man.
All right, T, last words.
You don't know, DJ World Boss signing off.
All right, man. It's the Overthinking Hours. We out.